And we begin with breaking news in New Orleans, where a radar-confirmed tornado has touched down in both the lower 9th Ward and St. Bernard Parish. As you can see from this video, it is a large twister. There is major damage and thousands are without power. The St. Bernard Parish president says someone was killed in St. Bernard Parish. He also says search and rescue happening right now. Our sister station WWL reporting this. They've had people trapped in homes in that area, but the good news here, there have not been major injuries reported outside of that death in St. Bernard Parish. And just take a look. You can already see the widespread devastation as people scramble in the dark to see the damage. The storm knocked out power at our sister station WWL there in New Orleans. The station is operating on backup generator right now. You know, Joe Trahan is here because, Joe, you attended college in New Orleans. You lived and worked there for 16 years. Can you give us some context on where this tornado touched down?
Yeah, Izzy, let me kind of take you through and give you a sense for where this is. If you use the Superdome as a landmark, and you see it highlighted there, we're talking about 6 miles east of the Superdome is where the 9th Ward is, and then Arabi, a couple of the areas that have been hit hardest. And the people and residents who live there, they're well versed in dealing with storms, but normally it's hurricanes. Of course, in 2005, Hurricane Katrina just ripped through this place. The storm surge was absolutely devastating. The loss of life was awful. And then last year, Hurricane Ida reopened some of those old wounds for some of those folks who live there in New Orleans. So these people know how to deal with storms, but not necessarily tornadoes and the storms popping up this quickly. We have heard about that death that you mentioned. There is certainly a lot of damage. They've lost power there, so that's the hard part now. People are literally in the dark trying to find their loved ones and their neighbors to make sure everyone is okay. They've got the scene under control, and that's the one thing about living in New Orleans. Law enforcement there, they've dealt with this on many different levels, so they understand it and they know how to deal with it. And at this point, let's just hope for the best after this awful storm. Izzy, back to you.
What a terrible sight. Our thanks to you, Joe. Let's bring in Pete now with more on this tornado. Was this the same system that tore through here yesterday?
Yeah, it's exactly the same system that tore through here yesterday. That tornado right there, there's no doubt that's probably an EF3, winds up to 165 with an EF3. It very well could be a low-end EF4, winds of 166 or greater. But the only way you survive a storm like that is if it has a direct impact is to be underground, and that just doesn't happen in New Orleans. No doubt the casualty, the death that has happened there tonight. Right now, the severe weather has moved to the east of New Orleans. That's the line of storms. This is the same line that moved through here yesterday evening, but at about 7:25, that's what our radar picked up. Here's New Orleans. Here's Arabi. That's what Joe's talking about. You see that? That's it. That's the classic hook that we see when we see rain-wrapped tornadoes, or this one wasn't a rain-wrapped tornado, but we see rotation within a thunderstorm, and that is right on top of Arabi at 7:25 tonight. That was the rotation. That's the tornado that you just saw on that video just a few moments ago. The National Weather Service tomorrow will clarify just how strong it was, how long it was on the ground, and more of the details with that.